noted as part of the process yesterday when the student was pulled out of class, parents had submitted obituaries written previously, several months ago, and the student then got to hear those read by Chief Hale. We pulled out 25 students. Emma Brandenburg will read one of those as a fellow student this time.
This is the obituary for Bryce Anthony Thomas, age 17, born January 6, 1999. Cause of death, alcohol-related crash. He was a junior in high school. Activities involved in. Bryce was an excellent student athlete. He played football, basketball, baseball, and volleyball. He hoped to get a baseball or volleyball scholarship. Bryce was also a member of National Honor Society, FPLA, and Key Club. He would occasionally work with his mom at the Trysting Place Club. Surviving family. Bryce is survived by his parents, Craig and Andrea Thomas, his older sister Sierra, and his younger siblings, Colton, Bryn, Aiden, Kenzie, and Kendall. He is a grandson to Jerome and Sharon Thomas, and Roland and Suzanne Piper. Godson to Janelle Litzow, and further survived by his two dogs, Daisy and Chloe, who will miss him terribly. Place and time of wake and funeral. Visitation will be at Schmidt and Bartel in Menominee Falls from 4 to 7 p.m., followed by service and reception. Bryce will be buried at St. John in Germantown. In lieu of flowers, a memorial scholarship fund will be set up in Bryce's name. To all of Bryce's friends, please continue to stop by and say hi. If we cry, it is because we see a little bit of Bryce in you and are remembering all of your good times. Please be careful in all you do so your family doesn't have to go through the pain we are in.
Thank you, Emma. Part of the process also were parents writing letters to their students with a specific prompt. One of my roles is to get those letters back, and it's one of the most challenging things for parents to write, so I actually say we need these at my specific time. Those letters were given to students last night at the hotel, and part of that process is that we will share one of them. So if Ms. Mongan can come forward, she will be reading the letter she wrote to her daughter, Caitlin.
Caitlin, I started calling you Sunshine when you were very small. Waking crack of dawn with huge smile, ready to take on the day. It didn't take long for me to figure out that you were adventurous, climbing the stairs not really caring how many fell down, as long as you stepped up at least one. Climbing on furniture resulting in stitches on at least one occasion, and jumping into 8 feet of water before you knew how to swim. I quickly adapted the words, "Careful, sunshine." I remember just last week after hearing you trip up the stairs, my response being, "Careful, sunshine." While those examples were cute and funny, especially when you were small, those words brought on a whole new meaning when your social life became a very large part of your world, when you learned how to drive, and when others were driving you. You became so used to hearing it that before you left the house you would say, "I know, careful, sunshine." Not everything in life has been easy for you. I watched you face challenges academically, athletically, and socially, but out of those three, the one that brought tears was socially. You learned that as kids get older, they begin experimenting with alcohol, that the parties that used to be about jumping in a pool and eating pizza became late-night bonfires and activities that involved alcohol. It became obvious why you were home at 8 versus your curfew at 11. I guess I have one regret, and that's not being able to say how proud I am of you as a person. When life became hard athletically or academically, you fixed it. I never had to tell you to keep trying, you just did that on your own. But socially, things are not that simple. It's either yes or no, which in the life of a young person is pretty much their whole world. It's the friends they went to middle school with, or played with on the same court, or even dated. I feel like I may have made a mistake years ago by telling you to be the one to be careful, when someone else made a really bad decision and was far from being careful. You are no longer with us, and our family is devastated. Your dad lost his dad and sister at younger ages than he should have. But this doesn't compare to spending years and years seeing that smile, guiding and parenting a young woman, and then because of one poor choice, the only thing he has left to say is, I had a daughter, and she is always in my heart. Brothers are supposed to be too cool to tell their sister how much they are loved. Instead, Ryan would hide your phone on you. And because you always kept it on vibrate, we would have to turn everything off. Music, TV, washing machine, microwave. And listen for the buzzing come out of the pantry or in between the napkins when you make me call your phone. That's what brothers do. Josh isn't all that interested in coming home from college because he isn't ready to walk past your bedroom. He would prefer to be listening to you complain about all of the homework you have and helping you with your Spanish. They too are desperately trying to cope. As far as me, my heart is broken. In addition to our spring break trips and say yes to the dress episodes, I miss watching you out on the volleyball court. I have no idea where you would have ended up or how far you would have gone, but it sure makes life almost unbearable in a way I will never know. There are times I go into your closet and wear one of your many millions of sweatshirts, just so I can repeat some of our arguments about who's going to wear which one, and laughs that bring back all of the memories. Though you're not here with us, we are very proud of you. It saddens us to know that we will never see you graduate, walk down the aisle, or watch you parent your kids. We love you always and can't wait to see how you've decorated heaven with your sunshine.
Thank you, Mrs. Lyon. We received those last night, and in response, students then wrote a letter back to their parents. They will receive those in sealed envelopes after the assembly today. The Monagans have been kind enough to do what is a difficult task to share this, so Kayla will be sharing, reading the response to that letter.
Dear Mom, every 15 minutes, someone in the United States dies from an alcohol-related traffic collision, and today, I died. I know you're wondering why me. You're a young, innocent, 16-year-old girl, but I never got the chance to tell you that you were my best friend. You never let me down and continued to support me throughout everything I did. You'll never understand how much I looked up to you. I hope to be someone like you one day. You constantly work hard and always put others first. You pushed me to become a better person, and sadly we won't be able to see how that person could have turned out. I never got the chance to tell you that not only were you an amazing mother to me, but also to Ryan and Josh. I can't thank you enough for giving me the best two role models. Please tell Ryan and Josh that I love them so much, and that I'm looking forward to seeing them again someday. You and Dad were the best parents I could ask for, always supporting me at every volleyball game and taking our family on vacations that we will never forget. You both never let me down and continue to love me unconditionally. Tell Dad I'll always have that dream of him walking me down the aisle and that his baby girl loves him. I never got the chance to tell you that there was so much I was looking forward to doing with you. From looking at colleges and decorating my dorm room, finding out what money best to get, or picking out cute baby clothes. I know that I'll always cherish the time we spent together. Although we fought, you were always there every night rubbing my back or helping me with homework. I'll miss our dinner lunch dates and late night chocolate runs. Nothing will be the same without you anymore. You're the sun to my shine. I never told you that I always took your words to heart. Especially when you would say people function. And I wanted to let you know that I was here for them, but someone else wasn't. And due to someone else, I'll never get the chance to hurt you. Mr. Kelly, I never watched my brothers get married or get married and start my own family. Treating my driving is not worth it. Even more than just yourself in danger. Now that I died from an alcohol-related crash, I never got the chance to say goodbye. I thought I'd be waking up one morning and going to school, hanging out with my friends, but instead I didn't. I will never be able to tell my mom how much I miss her and my family. Mom, I know you'll be okay, but now I can't wait to see you again someday. I'll miss you always and love you forever. Love your sunshine, Keynote.
reading the letter to Jenny, and her role was that she guided the scene of the accident yesterday.
Our dear, sweet Jennifer, today we write our last letter to you. I think if we could have one more moment with you, I know we'd give you a giant hug, and we'd want to make sure that you knew how special you were to us. It was only 18 and a half years ago you came into our lives. That day at the hospital, your birthday, when the doctor first lifted you for us to see. Mom and I were so overcome with joy, we both cried. We felt so blessed, and of course we were. You were such a sweet girl, Jenny. You loved everything, and we loved everything about you. You had a beautiful smile, even missing your front teeth, and a great laugh. You were always a dancer. You would even dance around the house while you were talking to us. You adored your pets, Daisy and Ruby. You were fun to have up north, at Dad's happy place, as you called it. And you loved your big brother. You stuck up for him when he was in trouble. And you smiled whenever he was near. He'll miss you a lot. You were kind and generous and bold. You had a special way with children, and you loved to travel, and you were great to travel with. Jenny, you were so talented and so full of life, and we were so excited for your future. And now, instead, everything has changed. Now we'll miss your graduations. You won't be calling to tell us about a new job. I would have so cherished whispering to you how proud I am and how much I love you as I walk you down the aisle. Mom and I will never get to hear that smile in your voice when you tell us soon we'll be Grandma and Grandpa Litzow. And we won't get to spoil your babies or brag to them every chance we have to tell them how great their mom is. And the time in life when you finally have that family of your own and you realize how much a parent really loves their child, we'll miss that, knowing you now have that understanding of how much we really loved you. But what we'll miss most is you, Jenny. Just being with you, hanging out with you. You see, we love you. We think you're cool. We thought our future would be spending time with you and your family. We planned to be seeing you all the time. And for us, it would have been as simple as just sitting with you and hearing about your life, your kids, whatever, because that's what would have been most important to us, you. You know, over the years, we've met a lot of people who've come up to us and said, "Oh, you're Jenny's mom and dad? You have a great daughter." We would always smile and agree, say thank you, knowing already how lucky we were. It was always true, Jenny. You were very special to many people. And I guess maybe I should be thankful, we should be thankful that we've had you in our life for this short 18 and a half years. But you know, today, that's not how we feel. Today we're a selfish father and mother who just want one thing, to have back their baby girl. You see, Jenny, we can't let you go. We won't ever let you go. And we know that every day for the rest of our lives, we'll be holding you close in our hearts, hoping you know how much we miss you, and praying that wherever you are, you can hear us when we tell you again and again, we love you, Jenny.
At this time, Jake Dufresne, who is critically injured at the scene, will share his letter as well.
I remember that first day when I started running. I was sitting on that big leather couch, bored out of my mind. Then I got up and I ran. It was so simple, so natural. I barely made it down the block before I had to stop, but it made me feel like I was doing something with my life. It gave me power and pride, something I had never felt before. But now I know I will never have that feeling again. And all I can do is think of my teammates all the time that we ran together, and how happy I was. Even when I was exhausted and my legs grew weak, even when the sleet came down and stung our faces, even in that putrid summer heat, I was simply grateful to be alive and to be running. The brotherhood I have with each runner is priceless. We were forged together in struggle and accomplishment. I remember being there for my guys on their toughest days when we wondered if it was all worth it. And I remember them being there for me when I was too broken to lead. I remember the incredible joys of qualifying for state and the incredible sorrows of literally falling short at the finish line, and the redemption brought on by another day, another race. It wasn't about the reputation. It wasn't about the winning. It wasn't even about the honor. It was about camaraderie and the community of runners who I called family. But now all I can do is watch and wonder, what difference could I have made? But it's futile. I will never run again. I remember hiking the mountains with my mom and dad out west. I remember hunting my favorite spot with my grandma every fall, snowboarding down the slopes with my cousin, and mountain biking new trails with my brother. All of these memories that sting in my recollection, because I will never get the chance to do them again. It was so easy to take what I had for granted. I've been running every day for 6 whole years. And for what? All the miles I ran, the pain that I've endured to shape myself into the best that I can be. And for what? I can't even get out of this chair. Who am I anymore? Running was me. It was my identity. Now I don't even know what to do with myself. I'm not even able to do my dream job in the Navy. All I want to do is serve. And now I can't even do that just because someone drank and drive. And to my best friend, my girlfriend Alyssa, I know this must be devastating for you. It must be devastating for you to see me go through all of this, seeing me lose all of my hopes and dreams for the future. You have been there for me, and I have been there for you. And I know that you would stand by my side through everything. And I know you would fight harder than anyone to make this work. But it can no longer be. I cannot face a future where I am holding you back. You deserve better. You deserve more. You deserve a future where you can be what you want to be and do what you want to do. You deserve a future with someone who can be there for you, someone who can not only love you, but also protect you. I cannot be that someone. I cannot put you through the pain of taking care of me while you are striving to achieve your dreams. And I cannot bear to see the pain that I would cause you. So this is the end. I am breaking up with you because I care about you so much. because I love you, and I want you to fulfill your dreams. I am making you leave me behind so you can get ahead. We can no longer be together, but all I ask is that you remember me for who I was. That stubborn yet caring person who is always there for you.
The last part is a tribute done by Auburn University, the technical issues. So, Michael Lutzenbergen, father of Philip Lutzenbergen, former Auburn student athlete, speaks behalf on the Lutzy 43 Foundation to carry forward Philip's legacy. As you heard, Philip lost his life in a single vehicle accident on June 29, 2014. Mike is a native of Wheaton, Illinois, has been married for 29 years to Mary and his father to Amy, who's 27, Ann, who's 25, Abby is 21, and she is also set to graduate from the University of Alabama in a few weeks. He is a former two-sport athlete at Coe College in Iowa, which is an NCAA Division III school, and played basketball and football there. Mike's career in sales management, and marketing included positions with Macmillan Publishing, Catapult Training, IBM, Speed Tracks, and currently Vice President for Sales for Fuel My Club, a mobile app fundraising company. Mike is currently Executive Director of the Lutzy 43 Foundation, which carries forward Philip's legacy through the education of students, student athletes, and coaches. The foundation focuses on leadership, charity, compassion, mentorship, hard work, honesty, and faith. Mike flew in from Atlanta last evening. He actually has close ties with the Germantown family that I wasn't aware of prior to negotiating with him, and stayed with them last night. He's speaking at Palmyra High School this afternoon, then quickly flying out to Houston for a speaking engagement and fundraiser tomorrow. It is my sincere honor and pleasure to introduce to you our keynote speaker, Mr. Michael Lutzenbergen.
About 160 talks, I know to hit the mute button. Thank God there's a mute button. I'm going to tell you guys out there, I thought my tear ducts had failed me today. I thought all the tears were out of me. But guys, we're raised to not show emotions. I'm going to tell you what tears are. It's liquid muscle from the heart. There's no reason to sit back and hold tears if you're a male. Joel, thank you. I thought I would be a part of this. I'm a small part. This is a phenomenal event. You need to figure out a way to consult and put this across the country. Gary, Julie, Matthew Knippen, last night, thank you for a warm bed that didn't have a room number in front of the door frame. Lee, you nailed it. Ms. Mongren and Caitlin, I haven't met you, but what a phenomenal job. All the law enforcement here. My father was a 38-year public servant in Wheaton, Illinois as a full-time fireman. So I'm from Atlanta the last 20 years, but I say the Bears. And you probably like the Bears right now. You've had your way with them. The title of my talk is Philip's Legacy. It's going to be tough to complete this in the 90-minute Joel's allowed me to talk today. That's a joke. I'm now down to 22 minutes. The clock is on. 25 minutes, I'm back up 25. But like Joel said, our foundation was founded to honor Philip. When we first started this foundation, it was titled Live Like Lutz, Love Like Lutz, and Lead Like Lutz, because Philip was always a leader. I'm proud to say he's my best friend. And I've got 3 beautiful daughters. In the one video you would have seen my wife. I love my wife because I think she's blind. She's been married to me 30 years. She's like in the house. And when you're from Alabama, it's pretty big. When your son plays football at Auburn and your daughter chooses to go play soccer at Alabama, that just doesn't happen. rival schools. But my title of my talk is Philip's Legacy. What legacy are you leaving? And I like, when I talk to youth and kids, to use the term brand, because I think sometimes legacy maybe doesn't stick enough, but I know brand does, because everybody knows what brand means, I believe. And to make sure you do, you know that Coca-Cola and Pepsi are a brand within the cola market. They compete head-to-head. If you go to Taco Bell, you probably know if you love Coke, you can't have a Pepsi, or you can't have a Coke, you can have a Pepsi. But if you love cola, you're going to have that Pepsi. And that's important, because your legacy and your brand, you get one shot at it. And I wish Philip and I were a simulation. Because I would have been reading something at a mic, and he would have read something at a mic. But this isn't a simulation. I'm not a simulation. I'm a real deal. I lost my best friend. And I'm going to tell a couple stories about Philip. I'm not going to rattle off a bunch of stats. I'll give you a couple just to give you who he was. He played football at Auburn. We're crazy down in the South of football. If you think game day in Madison is big, you need to come down to the South and experience, because it goes over the top. But Philip went there. He could have gone to any school in the country. He turned down Stanford, Cal, Ohio State. He fell in love with Auburn. He ended up being a two-time captain. He ended up being third-team All-American at the conclusion of his junior year. He put his name in for the NFL draft. And he was projected to be a third-round draft pick. And if you're a third-round draft pick in the NFL, you're an instant millionaire, because every third-round draft pick has made it at least 1 year, if not 2, in the league. But he went back his senior year to play because he wanted to be a captain again. He wanted to graduate. He graduated in 3.5 years. And when I talk to high school kids, I hammer home that concept of education being so important. And then he had a chance to go to the Rams, although he had a severe couple of injuries, a torn shoulder labrum and a torn hip labrum. And he didn't run so well at the combine. He went from a projected third-round pick to being a free agent, and the Rams cut him. But he was okay because he had that degree, and he got a job in Montgomery, Alabama. And I'm going to come back in a few minutes and talk very candidly about what I've learned about June 28th of Saturday and June 29th of 2014. Because I believe there's a couple of word pairings that I need to share with you, and for you young kids especially, but even if it impacts me, and I'm 53, wired and unplugged. And I'm in a public school, so I've got to watch what I do regarding my faith, but I'm going to say it one time. God's my best friend. With him is stronger than it was before I lost my son. If you care to understand why, I'll be happy to tell you. And because I'm getting old and I forget, a mentor of mine said, Mike, give your email address out, because he believes kids have a lot going on and they can't share with their principal, with their parents, with their coaches. So it's mike@lutsy43.org, where you can reach me at lutsy43.org. And I share that, and let me give you an example why. The first time I did that, I'm from Chicago. My brother's the AD of a school down there in Naperville Central with about 3,200 kids. And I spoke to about 750 athletes one night in November of 2014. It was one of the first talks I gave. And I shared my email address that Wednesday. And that Monday morning, I woke up to an email from a young girl named Elizabeth. And I think she's cute because she didn't call me Mike or Mr. Lutz. She said, hey, dude. I don't even know who you were. Don't know who your son was. I thought our administration was just going to hammer us again about statistics on things we do wrong. And you didn't do that. But I want to share something with you because you said that I could. And I want to share with you, I was third in the state my junior year in cross country. And this past year, I didn't even qualify for the DuPage Valley Conference Championships. My best 5 friends are no longer my friends because I chose to start drinking. And this is the first weekend in 18 months that I haven't been drunk. Can you do the math? She started drinking her sophomore year spring semester. That's why I share it. There's things going on. When I first started talking, I was raised in a household that said it's easy. Right decision, wrong decision. It's not a black and white world, a gray world. It's black and white. Make that right decision. And I thought that was true, but it's so different for you kids because of the internet and technology. There's so many places you can go, so many things you can do that you shouldn't be. The peer pressure hasn't changed. When I was your age, the choice was to drink or not drink, smoke or not smoke, be rude to somebody. So that's why I share it. There's something going on. I'm not a psychologist and a psychiatrist, but if you write me, I promise you I will write you back. And it's amazing, because I spoke Monday night in Starkville, Mississippi, to about 350 Greek kids. And we've created this culture that you seniors are going to go off to, and you become an adult right away. Go to Madison, go to Whitewater, go somewhere. It's okay to drink. And it's not. And you know it's illegal, but many of you will do it. And I'm not here to rattle off a bunch of statistics, but I will tell you this. 24% of you high schoolers in here are already experimenting recreationally, regularly, or over the top with alcohol. I think it's a low statistic. And you know it's illegal, but you do it. What a startling statistic to hear in the state of Wisconsin has got the worst teen drunk driving in the country. Shame on all of you if you're doing that. And I know some of you in this audience already are planning, what are you going to do come graduation? Where are we going to have that party? And that simulation video, some of that's going to become real, even when you're sitting here today. So I'm going to give you a quote from a comedian I was told last night when I shared it. I was going to find a new comedian that has a quote that's relevant. And you're probably wondering, why is this guy in this environment going to tell a quote from a comedian? It's Steve Martin. And us older people know who Steve Martin is. And his quote, I don't know the context of it, but I read it after I was running one day, reading a magazine in the sun, and I think it's pretty important, and it's simple. But it goes, be so good, you can't be ignored. Be so good, you can't be ignored. I think it's powerful, and I'm going to challenge that, though. But I want to tell a story about Philip. And it ties into your brand. So I want you to think about your brand and your legacy as I tell this. Because see, my son, if you would have seen the one video, man, 6'4", 235 as a senior in high school, ranked the number 3 tight end in the country coming out of high school. Ranked the best hands of any high school football player in the country in 2008. He could catch anything. I give the credit to my wife. She doesn't have big hands, but soft hands. His junior year in college, he comes to me on Wednesday night and says, hey, I'm coming home tomorrow, Dad. I go, what's going on? You're supposed to be going on to Panama City, a big spring break location, with 5 of your teammates. He says, I've got to come do something. I got to meet a girl. Philip didn't have a girlfriend. Now, I thought maybe there's a girl at the University of Georgia who's going home today. Didn't turn out to be a college girl. She was 10 years old. Her name was Moody Bailey. I'm sorry, look at me. Bailey Moody. 10 years old. And we met her at a Starbucks. Heard her parents on that Friday morning because Philip had come home. And geographically, to go home to Marietta from Atlanta, or from Auburn, is 2 hours, the wrong direction to go to PC. Here's a 20-year-old young man. He's coming home. We met this girl because he lives in crazy Auburn where the fan base is crazy. He learned this young girl was suffering, but 43 was her favorite player. So we met her at the Starbucks, and when you saw her at first standing in front of the Starbucks at 7 a.m., she had a white t-shirt on and a blue Auburn hat. See, her mom played soccer at Auburn, and if you know my son, when I asked him, when did she play? And his answer was, oh, she's old, Dad. Great, she graduated in 1991. So she's not old. But what you noticed about Bailey was 2 things. This beautiful smile, because she's meeting her favorite player, number 43. And then underneath this ball cap, she was completely bald because she had gone through 90 days of chemo and radiation. And then Philip went and sat with her at Starbucks, and I sat with the parents, and they told me the story. This is the first time I had met the parents. And I'm wondering, does my 20-year-old son have the capacity to listen? Because most 20-year-old males don't. And Lord, what is he going to say to her? And I kept watching as they tell me, see, because the doctors had given Bailey 2 options, and the next Wednesday the family had to make a decision what to do, but both of them involved amputating her leg above her right knee because she had a tumor there. Now I want you to look at your right leg right now, if you would, please, because I didn't see anybody really limping here. Can you imagine walking in here with a half a leg? And they said, we can give you a prosthetic leg, an artificial, and when you have pants on Bailey, nobody will know what's happening. You won't really have a limp. But if you go to Panama City, the beach, and put a bathing suit on, people will know. And it's just going through my mind, what is Philip hearing and what is he saying? And this is going to tie back to your legacy in a minute. Because the next option was pretty radical. They said, we can take that right foot and ankle, which are completely healthy and it's a hinge, and we can surgically place it where your knee was. The rest of your life, you'll have a foot where your knee was. And if you haven't looked at your leg right now, take a look right now and envision a foot right there. And they said, we can give you a special prosthetic leg, and you tuck your foot down in it, and you'll be able to bend it and move. See, Bailey was 10. She played basketball, volleyball, and soccer. Again, I'm thinking, what is Philip saying? And if you go Google her right now, or maybe later, keep your cell phones down, kids, you'll find out that she won a national championship in wheelchair basketball last summer. She's on an all-boy-girl basketball team. All-boy basketball team is the only girl. I don't think you'll find that on the internet, but she won an intramural championship. She's now in 8th grade. Down in the South, she's a little hellion. She's going to go to Alabama because they're the best wheelchair basketball program in the country at the college level. She had radical surgery. And when Phil got in the car afterwards, and I thought he was in this major hurry to get out of there and get down to Panama City, I asked him, what'd you say to her? And if you know Phil, he said, Dad, that's between me and Bailey. You're sitting there for a half hour not telling me what we shared? Nope. That's who Philip was. But I found out what Philip said to her because 6 weeks after Philip passed away, Patrick, the father, called me, and it was only the third time I've talked to him, only second time I've seen him, third time I've seen him. The family came to the funeral services for Philip. Bailey's the oldest of 4 kids. When Patrick called me, he was crying. And I was crying. He says, Mike, I want to tell you what Bailey told us, Philip said to her, and then there's your son. And what he said was, what Bailey said made me smile a lot. He's got great hair, he's good looking. And I'm sure if Philip heard that, I'm sure he's hearing it right now, he's probably up there going, that's right. He thought he had hair like John F. Kennedy. Always concerned about his hair. But what Patrick shared was, Bailey said, Daddy, just listen. And then he said, I can't tell you what to do because I'm not qualified, Bailey, but it sounds like your family's done all their homework. And my belief was they already knew what they were going to do that next Wednesday. But Patrick said, because of what Philip said to her, it really convinced her to have a radical surgery. And what he told her his advice was 2 things. First of all, who cares what people think you're going to look like? You're going to be the special one. And then he said, if you believe and have a faith, pray to whoever you believe in, and that can help give you strength and guidance. So then he said, Mike, there's a word that describes your son. And see, as part of our foundation, we've created a curriculum called 43 Lessons to Legacy. 43 is a kind of unique number in college athletics. And it's a character development program, and it's based on different words that we thought represented Philip. And there was a word that began with A that Patrick said, it begins with A, and I couldn't wait for him to tell me. And I thought, awesome. But it wasn't. It's a simple word that's so powerful if you're concerned about your legacy and your brand, especially your kids. The word is available. This man described my 20-year-old son as being available. And when you think about your brand and you're creating your legacy, what legacy you're leaving, are you available? And I know you're available to your best friends. If you're a football player, your football team, definitely available to your family. But here in Germantown, are you available to students that have nothing in common with you other than the fact that you're both students here? You might be in football, somebody might be in a Spanish club. Somebody might not do anything here extracurricular, they go to work. You hold the door for them, you smile at them, you give them a high five. That's what being available is. It's simple. See, I can talk because Philip was available. He was phenomenal. He didn't get a chance to go to a prom in high school his senior year because he was taken away to California to win an award because of his hands. And he broke the heart of a girl that was a younger girl, a junior, Casey Carroll. And Casey, if you know Casey, you love her, she didn't talk to Philip for 2 months. She didn't get to go to prom. Philip graduated. He went to Auburn and played every game as a true freshman. And then he got hurt in the spring football game that year, or spring practice, and had a concussion. As we walked out of the hospital, the doctor says, just go home and sleep it off. If you've ever had a concussion, you want a dark room and no noise. I saw Philip because he's like, oh, this is a sinner. He stole something off a gurney walking out of the hospital. It was a pillowcase. And he put it over his head and said, Dad, just drive. I said, Philip, it's 10 minutes to your dorm room. He said, no, we're going back home, which was 2 hours. See, it was last year's prom. Casey's now a senior. And Philip honored a commitment that he had to break, but he paid it forward by going back. And he took Casey to prom as a freshman in college. And what I love about the story, not so much that he did it, but you see Casey, God created a special one in Casey. She has special needs. She has Down syndrome. My son went back and took a girl to prom that was born a little bit different to pay it forward. That's being available. And what I've learned is Phil was invited to go to the range to a farm with friends that I have never even met as friends. He had a base of friends so wide because of his personality. And there's 4 key pieces that I learned. And normally I've interacted in these talks. I want you to participate with me right now. If you are a good friend to somebody, please raise your hand. And if you don't raise your hand, you don't understand the question or you're not listening. We're all good friends to people. So I'm going to go back and challenge the quote from Steve Martin that says, be so good, you can't be ignored. And there's 4 key points, especially for you kids. See, Philip was 23 years old. And when he got that call, I wasn't with him to go to this farm. I know him like the back of my hand. And he prepared, because he said, bring what you want to eat and drink. Philip made some money in the NFL, and it burned a hole in his pocket, so he spent it quick. He bought steaks for all 13 kids. He brought a case of beer. I'm very convinced he did. He wasn't a big drinker, but he was 23. He was legal. He's now 6'4", 230 because he took a little weight off. He was going to get that farm at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, parked the truck. He drove a truck, a 2003 Ford F-150 quad cab that was 100 green. He couldn't just call it a truck. It was his Lady Hope. And he parked it. And he wasn't going to move that truck, I know, until 5 o'clock Sunday. And then he started going out, and he did two things down there that he had never done before. He rode a horse, and he did something that's very popular down south, and it's not on my bucket list, and I don't know if you do it up here. He went muddy, pushing the truck in the mud. You'd be surprised how many girls' hands go up when you ask them if they mud in the south. And I saw a video filmed behind this truck. Big, bulky, 6'4", 230, pushing this thing, worried about his hair with the mud in it, and they know they started drinking. And then he went inside and started to grill, and I think they started to drink more. So the first key point is, you've heard BACs tonight about former students here. 1.96. I believe in Wisconsin, 0.08 are considered legally intoxicated. There's a quest across this country, because I'm getting calls from different states, if I'd help me involved, to get down to 0.05. And I think it's going to go to 0.05. And let me give you young girls what my belief is what 0.05 means. If you're a 110-pound girl and you drink 2 ultra beers, some of the lightest alcohol content count you can have, you're not going to pass the sobriety test. See, Phillips, BAC, blood alcohol content level, wasn't 0.08, it wasn't 0.16. ESPN, 8 weeks after he passed away, started a show one night that started with Auburn's Hudson Perkins, BAC, 0.377. That's binge drinking, people tell me. No, I don't know what it is. Like the video said, Mike, do you believe it? I don't care if I believe it. I'm not the poster parent to change the law. See, Philip committed no crimes. He's 23, he's the backseat rider in this vehicle, and yet the information came out because we live in the internet age, and the media wanted to have something to do, and people wanted to see it. 0.377. See, I believe a good friend has another one when he's made the decision because I'm entertaining, I'm fun, I'm doing this. I don't want to have another one. A good friend who's with him says, hey, have another one, Lutz. Who's going to tell Lutz not to? He's the Auburn star. A great friend would have said, Philip, you're done, man. You need to ask yourself, are you a good friend or a great friend? I believe Philip was a good friend tonight. Now, I'll be crystal clear. Nobody forced my son to do anything that night. He was a man beyond the average 23-year-old with the responsibilities that Auburn gave him to represent that brand. But see, then what happened is somehow Philip found his way in the backseat of a 2006 Chevy Tahoe with 3 other friends at 2 in the morning. Because one of his buddies went and said, I need a can of dip, and his can was empty. So at 2 in the morning, 4 23-year-olds decided the best thing to do after drinking was to get in this vehicle, drive in there they weren't familiar with, in a rural environment, because they knew it was a 24-hour gas station open. And how do I know it's true? Because I had to watch the surveillance video at 2:38. And the driver did go in and get that can of dip. I don't need to live in Germantown to know, as a high school driver, nobody has more than 3 years driving experience, and you should not be on these roads after midnight. But see, that's what a good friend does. I got the keys, let's go. I don't have too much to drink. See, the kids again, are you a good friend or a great friend? See, because the next thing I had to do at one point was read an 8-page accident. And the final element, which was page 8, which is the worst thing I've ever read in my life, shows the location of the vehicle after a 45-foot or 450-foot roll. And as the video referenced, Philip ended his life as a stick figure laying 15 feet from the vehicle with his name on it. And down south, we call it dead on arrival, 3 letters, DOA. And the driver was found bent over. See, 3 of the 4 kids didn't wear a seatbelt. They didn't take the 2-second habit in life where you reach to either left shoulder, right shoulder, here, click. The one boy who wore a seatbelt, clicked it, got out, had a concussion, ran for help. My son and the driver didn't make it. The young woman in the back seat was read her last rites, and she's made it. So let me close with this. As the video said, I have a belief, if you act more like my son, I believe you'll be a better person. That's an arrogant belief. All but his last 24 hours on earth. And I don't have time to tell you what I believe the 9 kids that were left went through that morning, that Sunday morning. Because this was June 29th. They should have been talking about what they were going to do the 4th of July. Instead, they started to talk about, what do you think Phil's funeral is going to be? No 23-year-olds should have to do that about a friend. But see, that's what alcohol did. But here's my promise to you. I don't care if you're the youngest one in this audience, the oldest, you're sitting up front, in the back, black or white, 4.0, 2.0, going to Madison, or going, God forbid, to Minnesota. There is simply no discrimination when you have a series of poor decisions in a compressed time frame. There is no discrimination. My son is proof of that. Had the world at his fingertips. A degree from Auburn in 3.5 years. Fame because he could play football. Was talking to the SEC network about it being an on-air personality. And because of his poor decisions, he lost his life. My challenge to you at the end here, you need to shake this man's hand. I go all over the country. There are administrators that don't put the time and passion. To me, this event here, Joel, is better than any class that any kid has ever sat in. It takes a passion to do that. You parents and you kids need to thank this man, the administration, your public servants. They need to figure out a way to put this across the country. God bless all of you.
And just a few closing comments. First of all, thank you once again for the hundreds of people involved in making this happen today. Again, although this is a simulation, our hope is that it shows the impact that even one poor choice can have, and on how many individuals, a school, a community, and all of the families within that. I would ask you one more time to offer a round of applause to all of our participants and donors. In a few moments, we will dismiss students and you'll report to classes for debriefing activities or first lunch. I would ask that the parent and student participants stay for a brief follow-up and our own debriefing. And our final message for you, among the 1,700 people or so here, if this program helps one person to make a different or a better decision, makes one person think twice about drinking and driving, using drugs, or texting and driving, motivates one person to take away the key of a friend who is impaired and should not drive, prevents someone from getting into a vehicle they should not, or saves even one life, even one, we've accomplished our mission. Thank you very much. We'll dismiss the period 4A or first lunch.